And also the climbers to be hired in the Kenya Forest Service and the wildlife.
For guidance.
Yeah.
Mr. Speaker, there's a clarification I would require from the nominee. Because when I asked the question, I said I've read the question from someone called Paul Mutua from Kitui. In his response, he has said that, and this is on record, he said leaders from Machakos and Kitui. Now, this is not a leader, this is just a person who sent me the message. I can even share with him. So I would like a clarification. When he says leaders from Machakos and Kitui are basically picking on him, it's important because I'm a leader from Machakos and I'm just reading a question.
Point of order.
Because I've hold the Quran.
Point of order, Honourable Speaker. Yes. That will be an interjection between now leaders of Garissa and the leaders of Kitui. We have nothing to do with it, Honourable Speaker.
No, I think if you allow me, he has asked a very good question. He has asked a very good question, but I want to give evidence. Speak on a number of times. And one of the time was when my good friend, the Wiper leader, lost his mother. I think, his father, one of his parents. And I went with the President Uhuru Kenyatta. And starting with the leader of Wiper, all the way to all the leaders from that region, one after the other, and I can provide the clip. They have mentioned me that I am the cause of the conflict. And in my presence, and in fact, in the morning when I was leaving, I told President Uhuru Kenyatta, that will happen. And he says, let's go. And they were telling him, but he never replied. I have other times when leaders from that region had a dispute. Garissa doesn't have a border with Mwingi or Kitui. We have a river border, but the really border is between Tana River and Kitui. So it is something which is in the public domain. It is the leaders, the senator for Kitui, the leadership.
Not go that route.
But that's it.
Let's not go that route.
I'll find another avenue to deal with that matter, not at the vetting. There are very many.
All public people have at one time or another been others' punching bags. And we live with it. So it should not, it's part of the occupational hazard. Honorable Duale will end with you by asking you, yes. By asking
Speaker,
you,
I take. That's out of order, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable
And even mentioning my party leader by the nominee is also unfair. Because that was never the issue. I just showed a message from a person, and I said I'm willing to show the message to the candidate.
Honorable Kalonzo is not an issue here.
Yes.
So
Mr. Speaker, I withdrew. I have a lot of respect for Honorable Kalonzo.
Thank you.
I have a lot of respect for Honorable Mbui. He was my schoolmate. I have nothing personal. I am sorry I withdrew.
Thank you. Honorable Duale, now answer the following short questions. Have you been adversely mentioned in any integrity-related reports or investigations?
Never in my life, Mr. Speaker.
Do you hold any leadership position in any political party?
No, but I'm a member of a political party. No leadership. Member, I'm allowed, yes. Mr. Speaker. I read the law.
State your net worth.
My net worth, Mr. Speaker, is, as of today, 980 million.
980 million?
Yes.
Comprising?
I have provided comprises of, I have pieces of land, both in Garissa and Nairobi, my house in Nairobi, my house in Garissa, my cattle ranch in Garissa, my rental property in Nairobi and Garissa, my shares in family-owned business, my camels and cattle, and motor vehicles. And Mr. Speaker, lastly, I have got good revenue from the book sales of my autobiography, which is one of the best selling book, the #1 best-selling book as of today.
How much were you worth when we last vetted you?
851.
851.
Point of order, Speaker.
Yes.
The nominee recently launched his book, and he says that it has good some returns. I mean, there are thousands of books that have been launched in this country. I want to know how yours performed so well.
You can ask him on the side.
I think you need to read.
Oh,
If you read my book, you'll see it's the best.
That is not a fair question. Leave it there.
The Speaker, and it is from a research done by bookshop sellers, textbook center.
I bought 20 copies and
Yes, thank you,
distributed
the
to
Speaker.
my schools.
And I have now done my 4th publication.
Honorable Duale, we had received 71 memorandum on you, some supporting, some opposing, and we are satisfied that you answered all of them when we forwarded them to you. We've also checked your documents against what we have. They are correct. Yes?
Chair, maybe just as the nominee concludes, because this matter of wealth declaration has become a matter of public interest now, especially to our brothers and sisters in the room. The movement from your last declared net worth to your declared net worth now, can you explain
the growth?
The growth.
How much is it?
Almost 130 or so.
Honorable Ichung'wah is an accountant. And there is, both for land investment and real estate property, usually the appreciation increases between 12 to 15%. So if you calculate 851 by 12% or 15%, that growth that amount will come to it. Yeah. It's about 140 million.
Thank you, Honorable.
And Mr. Speaker, also, we have got very good rains, so my livestock grew in number.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Honorable Duale, we are done with you. Unless you are otherwise lawfully held, you are released to go to your other daily
Thank you, Mr.
routine
Speaker.
work.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I really appreciate the time you have given me and your members. I wish you all the best.
Take
And,
back your documents.
See.
Bring in the next. Do you want a break? Bring in the next. Don't go for lunch. You'll go for lunch after the 3rd. Only 5 minutes. Robert.